And good morning. It is a Sunday morning, March 13th. And here in Idaho, our time changed this morning. So I don't know if that happens where you're from, but yeah, I just lost an hour of my weekend due to springing ahead our clocks. So where I'm at now, 7:26 in the morning. But our plane is in Texas at K-Bays. And we're going to do our first VIP jet flight down to Mexico. We have two people that want to fly to Mexico, to General Francisco Majica International, wherever that is. But that's where we are going. Just got done with our crew meeting, and yeah, we have a crew now. Now that we're in this, we have a co-pilot, and we also have a flight attendant in the back. The plane's fully stocked with anything and everything a person would want. So, we're up front taking care of the plane. The flight attendant's in the back taking care of our customers. We get here early. Got a lot to do to prep the plane. And we have the plane prepped. And as soon as our passengers are here, we're ready to fly. So let's do this for our first jet flight. Not quite sure why that's doing that. Why do we have problems? Oh, I'm not logged in. So, there we go.
Some VIP going to an important meeting this time. Waiting you at the boarding parking.
And now in addition to the weight of our VIPs, I also have to install my weight, the co-pilot weight, and the flight attendant. NeoFly does not make you do that, but they just want the 170 for the pilot, but I plug in 170 times 3 before we even load a person on board. Strictly for realism, so here we are in Texas. The sun's already up. I'm getting a late start this morning. There's our jet, all clean and shiny. Tanks are topped off. The beer and wine and orange juice is ready to fly. Look at that thing. Beautiful. Okay, there we are. Now I like to connect to NeoFly because that little screeching of the tires when I load can, see, mission canceled because of just starting it. So you want to have your plane all ready to glow. So we'll just end the mission and connect it again and everything will be just fine. Let's go back here. Here it is, the MMMM. You'll notice K are in the United States, M's are in Mexico, and when we fly up into Canada, you'll see C's. So it kind of gives you an idea of what country we're flying to. So, triple M. Let's go back here and do our longitude, our longitude. Let's go ahead and make sure it's topped off. $900 of fuel on board. Okay, we were topped off. Everything's on board, so let's connect. Oh, what happened? No, I don't. Oh, I didn't select that. Man. Okay, I struggle first thing in the morning. I thought I did that. Okay, now let's connect, shall we? I'll make sure I have the fuel. Yeah, it's still there. Cessna Longitude.
Transporter from dispatch.
Yay.
Some VIP going to an important meeting this time. Waiting you at the boarding parking. Transporter form dispatch. Boarding passenger, please stand by.
Okay, we're gonna let the people in the back take care of the flight attendant's gonna make sure everybody gets on board all right, that they're happy. We're gonna get the air flowing here with the GPU.
Transporter from dispatch. All passengers on board. You can ask for the clearance to take off.
Oral warning, okay.
Let it do its TOS tests. So now we got our APU in the back going. That supplies us with air circulation and power. And we'll let them do their thing in the back while we prepare the cockpit for takeoff.
Systems test, okay.
And drink coffee, because now we have a potty on board, so. Alright. I'm just going to go through my flow here, and just might as well start here and work our way over, huh? Okay, there's our GPS. Yes, we want all speed bugs on. That just tells they have little bugs on my speed, rotation speeds and everything like that. We need to get that information from ATC. Altimeter setting is now set. Okay, we're gonna come down just a little bit for taxi purposes. There's our ice protection, so everything. Okay. Now we'll go upstairs. I'm just gonna go ahead while I'm up here and turn all my lights on. Since it's daylight, we don't need our floodlights. Okay, I believe everybody in the back's getting happy. We're gonna go ahead and fire this bad boy up, starting with engine number 2. And start. Here's my pack. Remember, we want to see 58. Our N2 percentage, and then I'll fire. Okay. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, stall and ignition. Okay. Now I'm gonna set my N1 to hopefully about 20. It's about starts wanting to go in reverse, so set at 20% N1. Okay, we're gonna shut that off. Now we're gonna come over here and turn ignition on and hit the starter. And now our numbers are coming up. not quite sure the process, but our APU, I believe, supplies the engine with air to start the rotation. And then about right here, it throws a little fuel in there and it starts making its own combustion. And then once the N2 percentage gets up to the 58, that's when the rest of the fuel is put in there, ignited, and then that's when the jet engine's actually functioning. I think that's kind of how I understand it in my brain. I may be wrong, but that's kind of... and ignition. So there we go. So we got both engines fired up. Temps are up. Oil temps are up. Pressures are good. Green. Everything's green, 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 green all the way down. Set that low 20s. So now I got to pretty well sync both motors. Okay. And we can shut the starter off. That puts all our yellow lights. Looks like we've done everything right. Go ahead and set my camera angle. Now, let's go ahead. Get our ATIS.
Kilo Bravo Alpha Zulu Airport information India 1300 Zulu. Wind 256 at 8. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature -2. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0 decimal tree 2. Visual runway tree 1 in use. Landing and departing runway tree 1. Ifr aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have India.
Okay, we have India.
Bravo Alpha Zulu Airport information India 130.
Okay, let's get our clearance. Get all our information.
Delivery Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo Ifr to Morelia ready to copy.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo is cleared to Morelia Airport as filed. Takeoff runway tree 1 climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Departure frequency is 128.05 squawk 4322.
4322, 12,000 feet.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo cleared to Morelia Airport as filed. Takeoff runway tree 1 climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Departure on 128.05 squawk 4322.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo readback is correct. Contact ground on 120.175 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Good day. Okay, I was taking a look outside, and we have a jet parked directly behind us. So what I want to do is get a little pushback. Not much. My brake off. There's my little dude. We can have him push us back when our engines are running now that they're in the back. I don't want to keep an eye on him. I don't know why he totally misses our front landing gear, but there we go. Okay, go away. Once he gets out of our way, let's go ahead and taxi and get out of here.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo with India ready to taxi IFR.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo taxi to and hold short of runway tree 1 using taxiway Delta Charlie Alpha. Contact tower on 127.05 when ready.
Copy, copy.
Taxiing hold short runway tree 1 via taxiway Delta Charlie Alpha Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
Well, they're throwing us on a stupid runway, of course. The smallest one. Let me bring my information up here and see how they want us to taxi. I think I know, but this is where my co-pilot would help me. I have a co-pilot, but they do absolutely nothing for me. I can have them do like the radios and help me out in the cockpit that way, but okay, again, my letters don't match. So basically, we're gonna taxi out of A, taxiway F to runway 31. Okay, well, I know where we're going. So 31's just right there. I was thinking the other runway, that's 35, but 31's the good runway, so. Okay, I've got it in my brain. Let's do this. Everybody in the back strapped in. Happy campers. We'll make sure the flight attendant makes sure they stay happy. And me and my co-pilot will just make sure they have a nice, smooth ride. So yeah, we're doing what? I can't remember the mileage. 600, 700, 800 miles. Be an hour and a half. We can cover some ground now. With full fuel tanks on this plane, we can pretty much do about 3,500 nautical miles. So we can pretty much fly across the United States without stopping for fuel. Let's just double check as we're doing our roll. Okay, our flaps are set. We're on Charlie going to Alpha. Charlie to Alpha. Alright. That's just not what the real world looks like. I try to use my sectional and it doesn't match a lot of times, so. Okay, Alpha runway 31. Let's contact tower. Here.
Tower Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo ready for IFR departure runway tree 1.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo altimeter tree 0 decimal tree to wind 256 at 8. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 1.
Cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 1 Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo.
Okay. Everything is set.
dispatch. Fly safe.
Okay, tap the brakes. Gear coming up.
Landing.
1 notch of flaps. And
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo contact San Antonio departure on 128.05. Good day.
good day.
Going to 128.05 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo. San Antonio departure Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo is at 2,900 feet, climbing 12,000 feet.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo San Antonio departure altimeter 30.32 continue to Elcos as planned.
Okay. We climb out of there quite nicely at 5,000 feet a minute. We kept our speed below the 250 at 10,000 feet. A nice bank. Especially in a jet, we want to grab altitude that we want to get going. We don't want to mess around.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo contact Houston Center on 120.6. Good day.
Good day.
120.6 for Cessna Tango Echo Romeo. Houston Center Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo is at 9,400 feet, climbing 12,000 feet.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo Houston Center altimeter 30.32 continue to Elcos as planned. Delta 2556 contact Houston Center on 134.2. Good day.
Okay, we're above our 10,000 feet, so the speed limit is no longer in play.
Going to 134.2 Delta 2556.
So now there's our
Cessna
12,000
Tango Echo
feet.
Romeo climb and maintain flight level 240.
240.
Climb and maintain flight level 240 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
I'm still hand flying the planes, so that's why we came up on that. That's pretty aggressive on that. $12,000 feet came up pretty quick. And I'm just trying to establish our nav. Let me go ahead and put my bug on, and let's just go ahead and do heading, and let's put our bank in there, and now we'll climb out at 204 knots. So now it's going to pitch the plane to establish 204 knots at the power setting that I have. We got nice little bank of clouds. Okay, you notice there were, I don't know if you noticed or not, but there was like 5-6 nautical miles. That told us we were that far off our line. When that line disappears, or that number disappears, now our line's going to come back over. So when it starts coming over, I have my heading bug set. But now I can just go ahead and do nav. And it's just going to establish that line and hold that line. So you got to get this fairly close to your course before hitting nav. They'll both be on, but it still will use your heading bug until you get close enough for nav to take over. Okay, we're climbing out at just under 3,000 feet a minute, right at our 204 knots. We're up to 275, 254. Let's bring our map out. And of course I gotta change my settings because I like track up. So that this is actually south, not north. Get back here and let's throw some weather in there. I don't see any weather in our little future. I wish we could have got to fly through them clouds, but that's the way it goes. When we had a plane we didn't want clouds, that's all we flew in, and now we got a plane capable of anything. Never get clouds again. So here's our icing pack. We have, which we need that on. Then we can put de-icing in our wings, our engines. But today we don't need it, of course. Only when we fly a Cessna. Okay, coming up on 24,000 feet. We're going to be cruising at 40, I already forgot, 44,000 feet today. Make sure I didn't miss nothing on the radio. Nope, we're good. 24,000 feet. And I did forget to do my 18,000 foot checklist. Of course, shut all our lights off now. 18,000 feet. Standardize. Got to get back into my groove of flying high altitude again.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, climb and maintain flight level 300.
300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
So now we just kind of pick a speed we're interested in. Around 250 is a good cruise speed. We don't need to put it on end and get up there. We're still climbing 2,000 feet a minute. But in this plane, we will be hitting our max speed when we get to altitude.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, contact Houston Center on 134.6. Good day.
Good day, sir.
134.6 for Cessna Tango Echo Romeo. Houston Center Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo is at flight level 280, climbing flight level 300.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, Houston Center. Continue to Elko as planned.
I forgot my wind. Ooh, we have a 92 knot front right wind. Yay. We had tailwind yesterday, but now we're gonna be okay, coming up on 30,000 feet.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, climb and maintain flight level 360.
360. Bang.
Climb and maintain flight level 360 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
Might help if I shut my... This is why you have a written checklist on board. Make sure you shut everything off. Our little GPU is just chugging along back there. But if you do your checklists like you're supposed to, that doesn't happen, so. Okay, they should go ahead and give us our last altitude increase to our cruising altitude, and then we'll be there for a while. Now, unfortunately, when we fly out of the United States, the stuff I use isn't as detailed out of country as it is United States, because I can go to my sectional, I can go to the airport, I can get the weather. Oh, and we lucked out, I do have weather for it's showing nothing for winds. Absolutely nothing for wind, so either it tells me there's no wind or it's not available. And we have no landing procedures, no RNAVs, one runway, 11,000 feet. Let's see what our computer has for our computer has some.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo climb and maintain flight level 420.
420.
Climb and maintain flight level 420 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
I wish they'd just give us our altitude and we can climb. We're bouncing up and down. Okay, we're starting to climb enough to where our speed bug's coming down. Now we got some VORR approaches. I don't have any plates or anything. So I really don't know what we'll do there. Okay, you can see our Mach number today, instead of 5.5, we're at 0.81 right now. And with our 100-mile-an-hour wind coming at our front, we're still doing 420 ground speed. So, but now we gotta watch this speed. That'll be an overspeed tick. The computer will actually overspeed, and it'll stress the aircraft and shut us down. So we don't want to go. And this plane does not have a speed function. Sometimes you can come up here and just set the speed for whatever speed you want, and it'll maintain it. I can only set the speed for a climb. Once I'm at altitude and at cruise, this no longer comes in play, and I actually have to set the throttles to get the airspeed that I want to maintain. It would be nice just to go over to here and click the speed. So I'm gonna start finding our, and once you fly quite a bit, you'll know exactly what you're. I'll just start with both engines at 70% and 1 percentages. See, I'm really pushing overspeed. Okay. The computer wants to stop climbing because it maxed out our, so now I gotta shut our speed down to continue our climb, which is what I'm gonna do anyway. I'm gonna drop it down to 230. And I'm thinking at 44,000, I think that's our cruising altitude. Because right now, yeah, at this altitude I can go full max on both throttles right now, so that's maximum throttle. And we're getting about 95% out of both motor and 1%. Our temps are in the 700s, and we're at 90% on our end too, so.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo climb and maintain flight level 440.
440.
Climb and maintain flight level 440 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
Okay, that is our cruising altitude. I'm just trying to remember my engine settings at this altitude. Because right now at full throttle, pounds per hour is 1,100 pounds per hour per engine. So we're doing, oh, we're cranking it now. Okay, let's just put this down to, all right, now we're at 60%. See, I went from 1,100 pounds per hour down to 600. I'm thinking like 68%. Let's try 68% on our engines. Because we're going to be burning in the 700s. Alright, there's 68. It's hard to get both engines synced. It's easier to do N2 percentages once you get up here because there's a little more forgiving. So there's 80.8, burning about 771 pounds per hour per engine. And our speed is somewhat maintaining. And now as we burn fuel and get lighter, we'll have to even use less throttle, because that's why they only carry as much fuel as it needs, because you got to pack a lot of pounds of fuel. We're a little close to that line, so I'm going to bring her back to a straight 80% on my N2s.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, contact Houston Center on 127.8. Good day.
Good day.
127.8 for Cessna Tango Echo Romeo. Houston Center, Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, flight level 440.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, Houston Center. Continue to Elko as planned.
Okay, Elko's our next waypoint at. We're still. Okay, I'm going to drop him down to, let's do 77% N2. 77% N2. This is when you wish you could just plug a number in and say, I want to go 230 knots. And the computer does it for you. The big jets have that capability. I would have been glad to pay another $100,000 when you're dealing with $9 million plane. Go ahead and throw one more button on my dash for me to play with. Alright, there's 77 and 67, 76.9. That's pretty damn close. Alright. Very hard to get these synced. And we're losing airspeed quite a bit, so that's good. We're not right up against that. Alright, 77.4. Well, and of course, going into central Mexico, it is quite high there. Our elevation of airport, 6,033 feet. So if you look at our indicator, we have 3 fuel tanks on board. We have our main tank, and there's 2,029 gallons in our center tank, and then we got tanks on our wings of 1,015 and 1,014. It just slowly draws from all 3 tanks. We don't really identify what tank we want to pull out of. These will go empty before our center tank, but they will both draw down. This one a little slower than the 2 outside tanks. So okay, we're kind of losing too much airspeed now, so we might bump it up to 78%. See what that gives us. And once we fly this more, I'll know exactly what. It's been a while. If you look over here, I have 47 hours flying this plane, but once you jump out of the seat and fly something else, you just remember what the plane you're flying likes. And it takes a little while to get your memory jogged back. If I'd write it all down, that'd be smart to do, wouldn't it? It gives me something to do. I got an hour or so to sit here and tweak. Okay, just looking on our map, it doesn't show you a border, but you know anything that starts with K is United States. And now our next airport has an M, so somewhere right here is the United States and Mexican border, so we should be out of the United States here soon. Get your passports out. And now when we land in Mexico, we basically meet customs, and then we'll do the customs right at the plane instead of exiting the plane and doing
Houston
customs.
Center Envoy Tree 639er is at flight level 275, descending 10,000 feet. Envoy Tree 639er, Houston Center, continue as planned.
Probably not so much going into Mexico, because we're probably, if we're smuggling, we're bringing money back to Mexico or drugs out of Mexico, so. But it'd definitely be a lot more convenient flying private like this than dealing with the commercial end of the mask restrictions and COVID crap we got going on in the world today. This is the way to go. They just pull right up to the FBO, walk right out on the tarmac, walk in the plane. We take care of the luggage. They just sit down, enjoy, and we take off. But it's very expensive. Can't remember how much they're paying. Is it $80,000 for this flight? So almost $100,000 we're gonna charge them. But we have free beer. You can have all the beer and peanuts you want to eat. Compliments of Skeet Airways. Okay, our next waypoint's going to be AVUR, 145 nautical miles. 21 minutes away. And it shows us just a little bit over an hour left of our flight. Shows us arriving at 15:23 UTC, and we're at 14:16 UTC right now. And I didn't get up early enough to have a night takeoff and land in the daylight like we like. The time change, and my dog let me slip in.
Echo Romeo, contact Monterey Center on 125.6.
Okay, Monterey Center, we are in Mexico.
125.6 for Cessna Tango Echo Romeo. Monterey Center Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, flight level 440.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, Monterey Center, continue as planned.
Okay, while we're just cruising here, let's just kind of play with our procedures. VOR 5, VOR 23. I really don't know anything about what we're going to use. Got a 50-50 chance of picking the right runway. Up here are winds that are 261 at 86 knots, but that doesn't say it's going to be that way on the ground. Need to find a place to go to get Mexico. If I could see the charts, I know exactly what we want to have. Let's go to the Ifr chart and see. Transition MLM.
Monterey Center, United 2449er, is at flight level 335, descending 10,000 feet. United 2449er, Monterey Center, continue as planned.
Yeah, it looks like the wind's not blowing. Well, let's see what happens if we load that. Really didn't change much, did it? That's what you call winging it. Okay, we got a... It really didn't see like it did anything, did it? Okay, it says we are on an approach. Alright, let's just see what that does. We're not going to play the game like we did last time, and I could switch it at the last minute, but we're going to try for runway 23. It's plugged in there, VOR. Okay, our speed's bleeding off quite a bit, so let's just bounce her up to, let's see what it does at 80%. We'll do 79. 79.3. So now we're going to MLM, 187 nautical miles away. This isn't an RVAV, an RNAV, so there's not a lot of information for us to use. An RNAV will tell us altitude and give me a plate so I know exactly altitude and where I need to be, and I have zero information for this approach. So we'll play with ATC. Hopefully they can get us in there pretty close, and then and the thing is with jets, as heavy as we are, you notice our speed's bled off, but that's kind of defeating our, the more our speed bleeds off, our speed will bleed off, will accelerate because our angle of attack is so much higher. If we're at maximum speed, this arrow will be more centered, so we're a lot sleeker going through the air. But as the plane maintains altitude, it has to pitch up. See, we're right at 5 degrees nose high to maintain this altitude, which bleeds off the speed. The more this goes up, the less speed we... So that's why our speed kind of fluctuates so bad. Our angle attack increases, the drag increases, we lose more airspeed faster. So we're at 79, so let's bounce it up to 83. I'd like to stay as close to max speed as possible. without fighting overspeed bugs all the time. Because once we get this thing cruising and our angle of attack's less, it doesn't take much of a change to change speed. We're sleek, we're moving, but as our angle of attack increases, the plane becomes dirty, and it just... So that's what's so hard about setting your speed, is because at this engine setting, we're at 82.2 and 82.4. The speed increase will be slow at first, but then as the plane increases, the angle of attack will drop. The plane will become more or less dirty. And as it does that, your speed will start to increase faster and faster and faster and faster. That's why this setting at the beginning works fine, and then all of a sudden you just have way too much speed. But it is best, especially at the weight we're carrying, full of fuel. We don't have a lot of weight in passengers, but I packed the fuel on, so we're probably 75%. We're still capable of hauling a lot more. But I figure going into Mexico would be better just to have all my fuel tanks full. I don't know where we're flying out for coming back to the United States, or maybe we can head down to South America. Hell, who knows? So at this power setting, this is our angle of attacks come down a little bit. We're within 8 knots of hitting our max speed again, so I'm going to have to play with our throttles again. And as our fuel burns off, the angle attack will also decrease, which makes you go faster and less weight. And so you're constantly gaining airspeed throughout your trip. You really don't notice it much on this short little flight, because this is a short little flight. If we're flying across to England or something, going to Europe, you really notice it when you're flying 8 hours. See, it just all of a sudden we're going fast. Looks like that 79% is our sweet spot. We're right there. 78.5. He should shut up here in a second. There's really no way I can override him. Oh, there we go. These are our warning lights, so anytime you have a warning light come on, there's something changed, and there's also usually an audible. In case you're not paying attention to your lights, a sound will come on, and you can just hit the button to take the light off or shut the voice up, so you can deal with it. You don't need to listen to it. But So I think we'll let it bleed off a mile or two, and then we'll bump it up to 79% and stop it from, because now we're going the other way. It's slowing down. As it slows down, the angle of attack increases, and blah blah blah. Pretty soon we've lost all our airspeed again. It'd be nice just to set it computer at So this button I'm playing with, that's just for our climb speed. Has nothing to do when we're at cruise. Too bad it doesn't have a capability. Alright, we're down to there, so I'm going to bounce this up to 79%. And hopefully stop our bleed off. Alright, I need to go get a cup of coffee and a banana. Okay. What's nice about flying like this is the pilot gets treats too. I can just politely ask the back to bring me a cup of coffee and a banana, and voila. The pilot don't get this service in a Cessna. But we're about 50 minutes out. We'll be landing in about 50 minutes, so things happen a lot faster now. Now that I had my banana and a sip of my coffee, we can get ready to set up for landing. So it looks like we got our speed pretty close to maintaining our 229, 230. Now if we were flying for another 5-6 hours, that would slowly creep up as we get lighter, but we're not gonna see much difference in this flight. See, we're down to 1,943 gallons in our center tank, and our wings are now down to 972 and 971. So, and right at this, we're burning 730 pounds per hour per engine. So, that's a little more than. Not quite sure what Jet A weighs. We're burning about 200 gallons an hour, I'd say. Roughly. Maybe a little more, because I'm sure 600 pounds with 620 to 650 pounds is 100 gallons. So we're probably burning 110 gallons per motor or per engine. So 220 gallons an hour. A little turbulence. Lost a little airspeed in them little bumps. Notice the turbulence started right when we got into the mountains, so you wouldn't think the mountains would affect our ride clear up here at 44,000 feet. It might just be a coincidence, but our winds up here look like they're maintaining the same, so I don't know why we're getting so much turbulence all of a sudden.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, contact Monterey Center on 124.5. Good day.
Good day.
124.5 for Cessna Tango Echo Romeo. Monterey Center, Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, flight level 440.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, Monterey Center. Continue as planned.
just trying to decide. I'm hoping they give us runway 23 since I've already went all in. Just not a lot of information for this airport for me to check, double check. There's still no weather available. Been kind of going around the map at closer airports to check weather. There's one. Doesn't show any winds either. There's one 2 knots at 70. So yeah, I just don't think wind's going to be a factor. Just the upper atmosphere just got unstable for some reason. It's not a good ride. People in the back's going to have to put their seatbelts on.
Monterey Center Airline Laces 1121 is passing flight level 275, descending 11,000 feet.
Airline Laces 1121 Monterey Center. Continue as planned.
It seems like the closer you get, the longer it takes. I'm ready to get set up, and there's nothing to do, but I know the clock's a ticking. Maybe I'm going to start setting up different and try some few things. Maybe check the weather before I get everything up to date. And maybe I'll put approaches in already so I know exactly what approach we're going to do. So I just don't know if the weather is going to be accurate enough. I don't want to come land with a 20-knot tailwind. So. Well, it looks like we got clouds out to the left of us, right above the mountains. I would like to fly through some clouds, but not at this airport because we have 0 for approach IFR, it looks like. Don't know. Smoothed out a little bit. The ride's getting a little better. Just slowly losing a little more airspeed and a little more airspeed, and I think we'll increase just 0.34. there's a 0.5% increase. Maybe that'll maintain. Probably be enough to. We're gonna start coming down here soon anyway, so not gonna worry about it too much. We're about 35 minutes out.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, contact Mexico Center on 126.0. Good day.
Good day.
126.0 for Cessna Tango Echo Romeo. Mexico Center, Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, flight level 440.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, Mexico Center. Continue as planned.
Okay, here's our MLM. We're 215 nautical miles away, and it's showing us at an altitude of 11,000 feet. And then MLM 12 at 9,500 feet, and then looks like 8,000 feet, and then the runway's at 60-80. So in 212 miles for my approach that I have set up for runway 23, it wants us at 11,000 feet. Whether we'll get that or not from ATC, I doubt it, but it just kind of gives us our, kind of lets me know where I want to be. If I can get below the 18,000 feet, I can just cancel IFR and fly in. And that's probably what we'll end up doing, because ATC usually just screws the pooch on this one. I keep trying to do it under their control, but it seems like it just totally gets me out of my groove and gets you so far behind that it's pretty tough to catch up. But this just shows you how far out you start getting everything lined up. If I was in my Cessna, we were having this conversation at 20 miles out, and we still had a few minutes to, or plenty of time to deal with whatever we needed. We're a couple 100 miles out, and I'm already getting my ducks in a row and making the game plan. And a lot of our flights weren't even this far the whole time on our little Cessna 152. We were. So your workload definitely, you stay ahead. But we've got 26 minutes to our next waypoint, so. But we do got to bleed off 33,000 feet to get to our 11,000 feet in 26 minutes.
Mexico Center Aero Enlaces 1121 is passing flight level 340, descending 11,000 feet.
Okay,
Air
my
Enlaces
speed.
1121 Mexico Center. Continue as planned.
My speed's creeping up on me again, so I'm gonna drop it back down again to straight 79%. You're just constantly playing with these throttles, trying to maintain your preferred airspeed, which is, I'm thinking, it's about 235. That gives me 5 above. So I'd prefer to be at 235, and when it hits 230, I need to increase it, and if it even gets close to that 240, I need to slow down. It always seems like any adjustment you make's 5% more than what you really need. This 233, 232, that's perfect if I can just maintain that for the next few minutes. And then I'll be idling all the way down to pattern altitude. This looks like we could have some fun if we get a small plane. We could do some bush flying down here. I'm gonna have planes scattered all over the Western Hemisphere. Yeah, see, I'm dropping down to 32 now, so we're losing. So we'll up it up 0.5%. I tried to get us a flight over to the Caribbean, but there was absolutely nothing going to Florida, nothing going to the Bahamas, Puerto Rico. There was nothing over there. Everything wanted to go north, up into Maine, Canada, North Dakota. So Mexico was our next bet on flying south. I just about chose the one going to Alaska. It might be fun to fly to Alaska right now, but that would have been a pretty long flight. If we give it a month or two, we can fly up to Alaska and then jump in a bush plane and do some bush flying. I don't think there'd be much in March up there yet, weather-wise. Still might have us grounded most of the time. Okay, 21 minutes out still. Let's take a look outside. Right there's a pitot tube. We were talking about that a little later for your instrumentation. Got one on each side. That's what they look like on the outside.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo descend and maintain flight level 300.
Get back to work, 300.
Descend and maintain flight level 300 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
So, gonna start. See, we just got to start doing something outside, and okay, I'm gonna come back way back on my throttles. Bleed off some airspeed. We're basically gonna go to pretty much a mid-idle without going into reverse. So there's 25%. That's about as close as I want to get in there. And now let's just do our vertical speed and maintain that speed. So now I'm going to control my airspeed with vertical. And as our altitude decreases, you can see our speed bug is already moving away from 240.
Romeo, please expedite your descent flight level 300.
Because see, it's already moving away from your 240. The lower we get, that'll go. We can go 320 if we want, but so as of right now, 30,000 feet. I think it. We'll do 2,200 feet per minute descent. I'll start shallow and work my way up. Now our two altitudes we want to remember is 18,000 feet. Lights come on. Go back to barometric pressure. And then we really don't have much to play with on our 10,000 foot. We only got 4,000 feet into our speed limit altitude because we're at 6,000 feet. So, but 18,000 feet. Lights come on. Change our barometric pressure. And we can cancel IFR at any time after that. And then 10,000 feet.
0103 traffic is 1 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 360 generic.
Will
Report them in sight.
be speed limit.
Generic 10 Foxtrot traffic is 2 o'clock 2 miles at flight level 370 generic. Report them in sight. Cost 0103 have the generic in sight.
Generic 10 Foxtrot have the traffic.
I'll come up just a little bit on my throttles. We're losing way too much speed right now, so just a little bit.
traffic is 3 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 370 generic. Report them in sight. Cost 0103 traffic is 10 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 365 Cessna C700. Report them in sight.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo have the traffic.
Cost 0103 have the Cessna C700 in sight.
Okay, we both see each other. Major separations. I didn't even look for them. They're 3,000 feet above us, so. My co-pilot saw it because it's at the right side of the plane, 3,000 feet above us. I'm not too worried about it. See, now we're lower, our speed's up higher than it ever has, and my power settings are pretty much.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo traffic is 10 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 380 generic.
Wow, I don't
Report
care.
them in sight.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo have the generic in sight.
They're way up there. They wouldn't be telling us that.
Cost 0103 traffic is 11 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 340 generic. Report them in sight. Aeromexico 113 traffic is 1 o'clock 2 miles at flight level 355 generic. Report them in sight. Cessna Tango Echo Romeo descend and maintain 16,000 feet.
16,000 feet?
Descend and maintain 16,000 feet Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
Okay, that's below our 18,000 foot.
Cost 0103 traffic in sight.
Do our 2,000 feet per minute. Now we'll just get set up for 18,000 feet.
Aeromexico
So
113 have the traffic.
landing lights on. And we will set the barometric pressure when we get below 18,000 feet. Come back on my power just a little bit. I still have 81 miles before we got to be at that 11,000 feet for runway 23, so 10 minutes out from our waypoint. Shallow us up a little bit. Gonna do our 1,700 feet per minute now. Got 10 miles or 10 minutes to drop 15,000 feet, so
Cessna Tango, Echo Romeo, you are 76 miles north. Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect VOR, DME 1 runway 05 approach via Mike Lima Mike transition.
oh, there we go.
Mike Lima, Mike.
Okay, they changed us.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect 4 DME 1 runway 05 approach via Mike Lima Mike transition. Cleared to Mike Lima Mike Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
And here we go again. Wants us to fly backwards. 452 miles. Oh no, I think we're... I just don't get this. Well, if we had the other ones set, had a 50-50 chance. I just got to figure out how to do what they want us to do. It shows us going there, so we're just gonna fly it by hand until we're established. I have to learn what they want here. Instead of turning us around and flying us back, it does it every time. Don't quite understand why that does that every time. Okay, 11,000 feet, still 1,000 feet above our 10, so we don't have to worry about speed. Just gonna get established on our line and hand fly the approach. I've got to learn. I'm going to do some YouTubing on this. See if there's something I can do to get around this problem that I'm always having when ATC establishes my approach way too late, and it always wants to turn you back a couple hundred miles. And if they'd have chose runway 23, I was all set up for that one. But, of course, 50 chance. Okay, we're established on our line, but going the opposite direction they want us to, so we'll just fly right here for a minute, get down to our 11,000 feet, slow our aircraft down. We have 6,000 feet to go. I don't know why we're right on our line here and we're way off to the side there. Hey, little clouds just appeared. Okay, I'm going direct to that. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do or not. Let's go back to nav. So let's have it follow. Maybe this is what I need to do. I just keep tinkering. One of these days I'll screw up and do the right thing. But I think that's probably what we got to do is fly.
Tango Echo Romeo, contact Mexico Center on 125.1. Good day.
Good day.
Going to 125.1 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo. Mexico Center, Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo is at 13,600 feet, descending 11,000 feet.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo Mexico Center altimeter 30.19. Continue to Mike Lima Mike as planned.
Okay. Did my barometric pressure.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo contact approach on 118.5. Good day.
Good day.
118.5 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo. Approach Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo is passing 13,100 feet, descending 11,000 feet.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo approach altimeter 30.21. Continue to Mike Lima Mike as planned.
Okay. Alright, we need to slow down a little bit, so I'm shallow my descent rate because we only got 1,200 feet. We got 2 minutes, so I could actually we'll just do 1,200 feet a minute. That's going to slow us down a little bit. Because now we want to start getting below that 250, and we're at 351, so we're actually doing 100 knots faster than we should be. Alright, now here's the moment of truth. What's it gonna do when we get there? Is it gonna automatically put us on our course? Alright, we'll be leveling off, and then it's gonna bleed our speed off quite a bit, so we're in good shape. I'm liking it. 11,000 feet. We're above our cloud layer, so we still got good visibility. Still can see the ground, so we're still IFR, so we're fine. Don't have to worry about anything. And once I hit that 250, I can drop a notch of flaps, which helps with our airspeed a little bit. But we have to fly past the airport and come around. But we do have a lot of mountains around us, so we need to make sure we still have options. There's our runway right off to our nose here, right there. So we should fly out here, come around, and land. We were set up to land this way, but of course, okay, now we're below, so let's drop a notch of flaps and give it a little power. We're at still 270, so we still gotta get rid of 20 knots of speed.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, descend and maintain 9,600 feet.
9,600.
Descend and maintain 9,600 feet Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
Okay, it just did something funky. I just don't get this thing. It just makes my life a living hell. Alright, let's get back to getting down. 9,600 feet. Gonna come down 500 feet per minute. We're at 224. So our airspeed's good. So what I'm basically gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and fly. Runway heading. Yeah, it didn't fly us direct to MLM. MLN's way out here, so I don't know what it does. I don't know if it's just me not knowing what the hell or the computer's just buggy. I'm gonna blame it on the computer because, of course, I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm making this up as I go along. Alright, we're just gonna establish our 9,600 feet. Gonna maintain my airspeed at a somewhat decent. We're just above full flap speed. I still got one more flap to go. Drop the gear. Extend our downwind here.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, descend and maintain 8,700 feet.
8,700.
Descend and maintain 8,700 feet Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, you are 8 miles southwest of Morelia. Contact tower on 118.5 when inbound on the approach.
Copy, copy.
Tower on 118.5 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo. Tower Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo 9 miles southwest inbound 4 DME 1 runway 05 approach.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo Tower. Altimeter 30.29 wind calm, cleared VOR DME 1 runway 05 approach.
Okay.
Cleared 4 DME 1 runway 05 approach Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
Okay, we are cleared. Let's go ahead and turn towards the runway. They've got our altitude way too low. I don't know why they brought us down. Get our gear down another notch of flap. Get below the 180. Three in the green. Visibility on the ground really sucks.
Autopilot.
Well, let's see if we can find the airport.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo with calm, cleared to land runway 05.
Clear to land, 05.
Cleared to land runway 05 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
Now it would be nice to have a nice RNAV since we have a tough time seeing the runway. Ah, there it is. Wow, we're way high. Way high.
Transporter from dispatch. Take the VIP to the parking.
Oh,
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, turn next taxiway.
I don't think we have any more taxiways. Nope. Okay, so we're gonna back taxi. Flaps coming up. That was a pretty steep descent.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, contact ground on 118.5.
118.5, but I'm not even off the runway yet. So we need to turn our taxi lights on and contact ground.
118.5 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo. Ground Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, request taxi to parking.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway.
Via taxiway. Sounds good to me.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
It's not exactly how it works in the real world, but they would let me back taxi before. Okay, flaps up. Everything looks good. Landing lights are all on. Yeah, like I say, that was a pretty steep descent. I came down too low too quick. ATC just screws you up. But we just adjust accordingly and bring her in. (14°C). It's not actually a warm day down here. Very good. Here we are. So, I'm going to go ahead and set our parking brake.
Transporter, disembarking of passengers can begin.
And we're going to shut our engines down.
Transporter, all the passengers have disembarked. Good job. See you soon.
Okay, we shut down our engines. We started the APU, get the air flowing in here while our people gets out. That's our flight attendant's job. She will take care of them. Once they're off board, then we can go ahead and shut everything down. And it all goes away. Boom. 1 hour, 46 minutes. 1 day takeoff, 1 day landing. Nice. Okay. $86,000 we got for that. Wow. I got so many bugs. G-force. G-force too high. So that was basically our little turbulence we were in. It's kind of out of our control. Didn't think our turbulence was that bad. So we lost comfort level just because of that turbulence. That's out of our control, so it's nothing we did wrong. We passed. We had a soft bonus. Landing comfort was good. Handling was good. We just missed the security again. It's kind of out of our control if it's turbulence related. Okay, we got $467,000. We still have $11 million in a loan. We're ranked up to 1280 now, so we're not quite halfway to ranking up again. Let's see what kind of planes are. Okay, they got a Cessna Caravan. The citation, which is quite a bit lower than the jet we're flying, so we definitely don't want to downgrade. Got a Cessna G1000. Got a Baron G58. And we got the Diamond Aircraft 62 multi-engine. Well, we are back in Mexico, safely on the ground. So maybe, I don't know, I'd still like to fly this area here for a while. And depending on kind of where we're at, we could do some bush plane flying. Do a Cessna Caravan. Buy another plane and do some. That Cessna Caravan's kind of a fun bush plane to fly. Other than that, I enjoyed myself. I hope you did. Got a little taste of what it's like to fly a private jet. I hope our VIPs in the back enjoyed their amenities flying on our aircraft today. So other than that, thanks for joining. Subscribe. Let me know in the comments on what you'd like to see. I'm kind of just flying blind here, so I'm pretty much up for anything. So enjoy your day. We'll see you next time. Bye.